All right. See you later.
Bye, Greg.
And for those of you that are going conference, what conference? Go to AMMA.brownpapertickets.com and you can get your conference tickets and you can come see Greg and Chrissie and a whole bunch of other very interesting people talk for 2 days straight on all things Mead. So, PSA for the day. Anyway, welcome, Chrissie, to Got Mead Live again.
Well, thanks very much. It's always a pleasure to talk with you, Vicki. And yes, the conference will be very exciting. It's not just listening to other people talk. It's getting to hang with all the cool Mead people and just be completely marinated in Mead. And if you stay for Mazer Cup, right, then basically like for the whole week. It's really one of the highlights of the year.
Yeah, it really is.
Marinated. Sergio and I do well.
Yeah, marinating from the inside out.
Yeah, if you can find Stairway 9 3/4, we'll be all set, Hamish. It's going to be years before you live that one down.
Is the problem.
Yeah. Chrissie, in case you weren't up on that particular little inside joke, Sergio sent Hamish looking for a room number that didn't exist, and Hamish is texting him pictures of, there ain't no room here, mate, that has this number on it. So basically we've decided that he was looking for room 9 3/4 or stairwell 9 3/4, and he just had to run at it really fast, and then would take him to, the
party.
Yeah. To
wow.
Mead Works.
Sounds like you have really had quite a bit of meat then, huh, Hamish?
No, he sent
to
me
run
to
at
room.
the door?
No, he didn't. We just told him to.
He said room 3, and on my right was room 4, and on my left was room 2, and in between it was a stairwell. And I'm like, that can't be right.
It was amusing.
The old trick of sending it to the ninth screen at 7 p.m. when sprinklers come on.
Yeah.
Dick move.
Total dick move, but definitely one that some Mead person would probably pull, because then we'd all laugh maniacally and run away and drink more Mead, but yeah.
And go drink more Mead.
Yeah. So, Chrissie, I got an email from you today that made me go squee. So, tell us what's going on with the book.
Well, so I think I'm going to write a second book. I think I'm going to put together a compendium of Mead cocktail recipes.
Ooh.
I know there are an awful lot of them swirling around. Yeah.
There are a lot
of them.
So I
know there are literally scores of them, maybe hundreds of them, swirling around out there in glasses of Mead everywhere. And what's really exciting to me about Mead cocktails is that they've crossed over into the mainstream bar culture. So even as much as Mead has grown the last 10 years, we all know we're kind of our own little side fringe that isn't fully integrated into the mainstream yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the one place that's really not true anymore is in bar culture, and a lot of mainstream mixologists have a Mead cocktail on their bar menu now. So I'm trying to collect those, and probably in the future we'll be releasing, 1,001 Mead cocktails or some similarly titled book.
That sounds like
fun.
Will there be a chapter on syllabub also?
Syllabub? Oh, God, yeah, Mead syllabub would be totally awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
There will be...
Syllabub, I insist.
Well, then you better start sending me a recipe. So, I'm expecting there would be, for instance, a whole chapter of Meaderitas, because everybody makes them, and everybody makes them a little different. So, if there's 15 recipes for similar drinks, those would all be collected in a chapter. And syllabus certainly could be a chapter all on its own. Wassail punches could be a chapter all on their own, for example.
Yeah.
But I'm offering a free copy of the book to anybody who sends me essentially a publication-ready recipe. So that means it's a full recipe, tested. It has a high-definition photo. Whatever mead is used in the recipe, the bottle of that mead should be photographed also. And there's a very brief standard permission paragraph that I want you to copy and send along with your entry, basically giving me permission to use your photograph and the recipe.
This is all going to be
attributed
published
to
on
you.
Got Mead so that you guys don't have to remember all this.
Terrific. Thank you for that. So, a basic standard disclaimer giving me permission to use what you send me. And your mailing address. And the mailing address is important because without that, I couldn't send you your free copy of The Art of Mead Tasting and Food Pairing.
Nice. And wasn't there an award that was being considered for The Art of Mead Tasting and Food Pairing?
Well, it's pretty exciting. So two of the most prestigious cookbook awards are the Gourmand International World Cookbook Competition, and The Art of Mead Tasting and Food Pairing is an official semifinalist in its particular category. I think the category is something like non-wine book about alcohol or something like that. So it's an official semifinalist. So
we're still other than standard, but that's cool. That is super cool.
Yeah, it is. It is super cool. So,
Yeah.
Aside from, it being exciting for me personally, since I wrote and published the book, really the whole thing about the book in the first place was just to get more mainstream attention for mead and to get a consumer guide for mead out there floating around in the mainstream for people to pick up and learn from. So that's very exciting. It's also being considered for a James Beard Award, and the short list comes out the day after tomorrow. So I don't know yet if The Art of Mead Tasting and Food Pairing is on the short list, but keep your fingers crossed. That would be a lot of attention for the mead industry.
Yeah, James Beard
Award. If it even was a
Yeah.
semifinalist.
That's like the gold medal of Olympics of cookbook awards. I mean, geez.
Yeah.
That's the Michelin star of cookbook awards.
It really is. Yeah, that's it.
When I
saw the email, I saw the email while I was hanging out at the doctor's office waiting to be seen, and I was and I didn't want to like squeal out loud in the doctor's office. I figured it'd scare people. So. And but yeah, it was like way cool. So yeah, I'll be publishing that for you tomorrow.
Terrific. Thank you.
No worries. But yeah, that's just super cool because it is. Okay, guys out there, if you have not got a copy of The Art of Mead Tasting and Food Pairing, then you really, really need to have one. I mean, this is the definitive book on mead and food. I'm getting echoes again.
As far as I can tell, remarkably, I think it's the only full-on consumer guide to mead that's ever been written in any language. To the best of my knowledge, that's a true statement. So thank you for your kind words about it. I'm proud of it. I think it's a nice book. So you can buy it on Amazon, or you can buy it directly from me, in which case I'd be happy to autograph it for you, and that's at meadandfood.com.
And she will also have copies for sale at the AMMA Conference. So, and she'll be signing books there too. So you can you can bring your copy, or you can pick up a copy there and get it signed. So.
But enough about me. Let's talk about Valentine's Day. It's tomorrow, right?
It is. It is. Yeah.
I bought a lottery ticket. Seems
That's
like a
cool.
good gift.
Why not? Yeah.
It's already Valentine's Day here.
Well, yeah, it's already Valentine's Day in Australia.
So I'm thinking a stay-home Valentine's Day meal, because we all know you still can't really go to a restaurant and order meat on the menu, right? So
not yet.
A stay-home Valentine's Day menu organized around aphrodisiac ingredients.
Ooh.
So, of course, mead is the ultimate and original aphrodisiac. We all know that. Attributed with fertility. It's attributed with gifting the properties of being honey-tongued and mead of poetry and so forth. All the sweet talking is even named after mead, right? So clearly your Valentine's Day dinner should be paired with mead. I'm going to suggest 3 different meads for a Valentine's Day dinner. You want something like a champagne aperitif at the beginning. You want something like a dry to semi-sweet kind of main course mead, and then you want a dessert mead to wind up the evening with. And then all the food for your Valentine's Day meal should be centered around aphrodisiac ingredients. And I just did a post on this today on the Mead and Food Facebook page, and I think I copied you on it, Vicki, so you can repost that associated with this podcast too. So scallops and oysters are classic aphrodisiac ingredients, and oysters and champagne are a classic pairing. So how about a Hedron champagne-style Méthode Champenoise mead paired with oysters as a beginning? And then there are a number of ingredients that would all work together in a main course dish, which have aphrodisiac properties. So we've got arugula, pine nuts, pomegranate, avocado, artichokes, and chili peppers. And although I don't have a specific recipe, it's not hard to imagine just sort of putting those with a main dish protein, whether you prefer tofu or chicken or some kind of seafood, and kind of making those all work together in a main course. Is that too much of a stretch?
No, it sounds yummy so far. I just shared your post, by the way. It's shared to the Got Mead page. So
excellent, thank you. So I'd kind of sear all those things together in a frying pan, except the arugula, and then serve it on top of the arugula, which would make a real pretty presentation, and maybe sprinkle the pomegranate rolls on top. And of course, that gives it a nice red pop of color, which looks nice on Valentine's Day too.
Nice.
And then for dessert, you got to have chocolate, and you got to have chili peppers. So I would go flourless chocolate cake, and I've got a great recipe for that in the book. And I would pair that with a capsamel, because what could be hotter and spicier and, well, hotter than an excellent capsamel. So the best capsamels tend to be balanced with a lot of sweetness. And there are many, many good ones. The Colony Meadery, you were just talking with Greg, makes a fantastic one called Beso Exotico.
I love
there's
that.
another
That's
great
really
capsamel from the other Greg, Wild Blossom Meadery in Chicago. He makes a terrific one called Pirate's Blood. Mm-hmm. But really, there are scores of excellent capsamels now in the U.S.
Oh, yeah. And at all level of heat, too. Everything from Chipotle's all the way up to Carolina Reapers just depends on how hot you like it,
That's right. And they'll really all go well with the flourless chocolate cake. And one of the things I really like about that pairing is that when you're drinking these capsamels that are pretty spicy, you want something relatively bland and relatively absorbent and relatively high fat, so that you're kind of cleaning your mouth of pepper oil every time you take a bite. And that keeps a capsamel, even a really hot one, from getting completely overwhelming, and sort of clears your palate and gets you ready for the next hot and spicy sip.
That sort of makes me think chocolate cheesecake would work well with that.
That would be terrific, yes.
Well, isn't anything?
So that's my Valentine's Day suggestion.
No, I like that. That sounds really yummy. So as long as we're on the idea of special day meals, what would you do for an anniversary?
Well, if I was celebrating an anniversary, I, of course, would start with what are the special favorite foods of the person I'm celebrating the anniversary with, right? So in my case, my Persian husband is particularly fond of lamb. I would start there, but that's because I'd be cooking for him on our anniversary. So, again, really, I think the key is this spirit of intent, that if you're celebrating an anniversary, you want to dial that into what